Hello, my name is Ollie, and I am getting ready to start my beginning of school Q&A. Don't know what that was. Anyway, I got your question from Tumblr, and I'm about to answer them. Excuse the fact that I'm in a car. Might look around. There are people here. Okay, so the first question is from an Anon, and it says, "School year makes me so stressed that I overeat and gain a bunch of weight. So I was wondering, is there a way to kind of keep myself from being so stressed?" Good question. So basically the way that I would combat that is I would kind of create a schedule, and if you are ever feeling too stressed, just to kind of take a break, even if it's in the middle of an assignment, just kind of like step away from it for a bit, like relax, maybe watch an episode of something, get on Tumblr for a little bit, something that will make you feel more relaxed, and then get back to it after that. Don't rush yourself. Don't cram too much in. Kind of create a schedule where you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do homework for these 2 classes, and then I'll take a break. I'll eat dinner. I will have fun time. Don't know what you do in your spare time, but basically just don't try to do everything at once. Don't cram, don't rush, just kind of space everything out so that you don't feel like, oh god, you don't ever have a chance to relax. Make sure that you do, because you are young. You have time. Somebody's staring at me. Regardless, but basically that's how I stay relaxed and non-stressed. Also, a couple people asked me, how do I keep from procrastinating doing my homework? And basically, it's really hard, but kind of separate the spaces of work and play. Basically, what I would do is I would separate my spaces of relaxing and working. So if you are doing homework, even if it's on your computer, make sure that you don't do it in the same place that you scroll on Tumblr or watch YouTube videos. Just kind of lounge, don't do your work on your bed. If you have to work on your computer, close the windows of everything else that you're doing. Create a whole new window, or maybe even create a new Windows account. I don't know if you can do that on Mac, but I'm pretty sure that you would be able to. But kind of create a work account and a play account, so that you're not tempted to go, oh well, this is in my bookmarks. Something like that. And even in real life, don't do your work on your bed. Make sure that you kind of create a separate space for that. What I do is I actually do my homework at a desk or a table instead of doing it on my bed, because I did have a problem where whenever I would do it on my bed, I would just end up doing going on Tumblr instead. Anyway, next, how should I best prepare for my SATs and ACTs? Are there any online classes or good tutoring places that you know of? I don't know about you, but I know that my school had an actual course that could be taken that had basically it was an SAT prep class, and they would prepare you for it, and that was for half a year, and then at the end of that class, you would be scheduled to take the SAT, and that way you would actually be able to prepare for it with an actual person that was taught to prepare you. Or alternatively, most schools do have an after school program where you can do that if you can. I know that a lot of people, it's well, I wouldn't have a ride home afterwards or something like that. And also, I'm sure that if you asked some of your teachers if they had any tips or any worksheets or anything, I know that they would be able to do that. And I know that the SAT official website, where you register to actually take it, they have prep courses and little oh, here's your daily question, SAT question, and then do those, and that will help you, as well as just kind of studying reading, English, and math, which are the 3 SAT ones. I don't know about the ACT because I did not take that, but I'm sure that it's similar. Yeah, just kind of use your resources. I'm sure that in your school they'll have posters somewhere saying after school SAT prep, or your like I said, ask your like English teacher and your math teacher if they have any like tips, because they are your teachers and you have a reading section, an English section, and a math section. So your English teacher should be able to help you with the reading in the English sections, and then your math teacher should be able to help you with the math section, just kind of being like, okay, well, this is kind of what to expect, because like obviously you don't have anything like that, but I do also know that at least my teachers actually did like a little bit of SAT prep in the class. They'd be like, okay, well, here's an SAT question. Here are SAT vocabulary words, stuff like that. The next question is it okay if you... Oh, wait. That's a different ask. How do you form positive relationships with your teachers? So the way that I do that is I make sure that I don't talk so much in class, and I also just kind of behave in their class, do most of the work or all of the work, and participate in classes, because teachers really like it, because they're like, well, if nobody's participating, is anybody listening? Like, am I just here for nothing? Not only that, but if you like talk to them a little more, you might seem like you're a suck up to like your friends in the class or whatever, but make sure that you're not like breaking all the rules in the class. Make sure you don't like skip every class, like things like that. I'm sure that your teachers are not going to hate you for no reason. They'll probably have a reason. It might just be because you talk too much in their class. Tune down the talking, up the education, stay focused. And some teachers are impossible. Just let them be if they're impossible. The next one is, hey, John. And I'm like, do you think I'm John Walker? I really hope not, because this would be a major disappointment if you just thought you were asking John Walker questions. Regardless, I'm going to be in a new class this year. Any tips on how to make a good first impression? So the way that I like to make first impressions is just to like talk to the people. Like, don't seem too weird. I mean, I don't even know really how to make friends. Just kind of be yourself. Don't like worry so much about like impressing them as much as being you. Unless you are one of those people that's just like an asshole, which I don't think you are, honestly. I don't know you, but I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I don't think that you're an asshole. But be yourself. Find common interests with people. What I really like to do is just not be mean. I don't argue with people. I don't like tell anybody if I don't like them. I just kind of like, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's it. Anyway. So the next one says, hi, I hope this is okay to ask, but do you have any tips on starting college? I'm starting college in 2 weeks. And honestly, I'm terrified of new people and being judged and hated. I'm just so paranoid, and I was on the verge of an anxiety attack because I'm so scared, and I don't know how to make it stop or how to feel better. Okay, first of all, just take a very deep breath, because it is terrifying, but it's not as bad as you think, firstly. Not as bad as you think. College is actually super fun. Like, I really liked going to college. It's more laid back than high school, and there's definitely, you don't know everybody in your school, and it's fine. Or at least from the experience that I had. And a lot of it's you're kind of just seeing these people during your classes. You're not, like, talking to a whole lot of them. But not only that, if you don't like people, the chances of you seeing them most of the time, not very common, because college campuses are huge. You most likely only have, like, one person in one class. You're not going to see them, like, over and over and over and over. And like I said, nothing like high school. There are no cliques. There's nothing like that. It's pretty much just everybody, like, fending for themselves, basically. And as far as being terrified of new people, everybody's a little terrified of going to college and meeting everybody new. It's like, okay, well, all these people, like, I've never met them before. Maybe I never even lived in the same state as them until right now because they moved to this state, or I moved to the state, or blah, blah, blah. Trust me, all of these things ran through my head too, but college, like I said, super laid back, super fun. Just, like, don't try not to focus on that, because it is terrifying. Like, I'm often really scared of meeting new people, because it's like, oh god, what if they hate me? But something that my therapist said once is, why does it matter if they hate you? Because you shouldn't base, like, your self-worth on those people. I like this, like, ray, and I don't know if it's, like, on my computer or if it's actually, like, me. It's probably the sunlight, but anyway, yeah, it will be fine. I promise that you'll be okay. If you ever need anything, I'm here. Anyway, next, how do you survive AP classes? I have 5 next year. What? Why do you have 5 AP classes? Firstly, I had 2 the entire time that I was in high school. If anybody does not know what AP classes are, they're basically college-level courses that people can take in high school, that if you pass the exam at the end of the year, then you have a college credit. And you're good. You're, like, ready, and you have that credit for college. Or university, or however you say it. But, so, 5 AP classes. Okay, so don't get stressed. That's what you gotta do. And now looking back, it's like the AP classes were almost more difficult than college classes. Somewhat, because it was like the college classes are a little more laid back. They don't care if you show up all the time. But AP classes, basically what you want to do is you want to have different notebooks for every class, because I know some people that will, like, have those huge, like, spiral notebooks where you can fit 10 classes in them. Have one for each class. Do not share anything. Make sure that everything is separate. Also, find a way that helps you for taking notes. So what I really like to do is I really like the colored pens, and I would always use colored pens to do my notes, so then it's, like, more visually interesting, so that when you study and stuff. Also, I don't know if your teachers are going to make you do this, but my psychology teacher, personally, I took AP Psych, what she did was she had us do outlining of chapters, which is basically, like, super detailed summaries and notes for every chapter in the textbook. And I recommend doing that no matter what. Like, if your teacher asks you or not, do it, because it's really helpful, actually. Like, I passed because I had all of those notes that were really cool and stuff. So, I recommend taking that. Just kind of, like, taking deep breaths every once in a while. Don't try to cram everything in. When you get home, like, at the end of the day, relax for an hour before you start your homework. Yeah. Okay. So, somebody said, what's some advice you wish someone had told you when you were 16 and starting A-levels or equivalent? So, I know what A-levels are because I watch British YouTubers. No, I'm joking. I kind of had to Google it to, like, double check, but it's kind of like the AP exams, except for mandatory, and all of your classes are AP exams, and you get to pick more. Like, let me know if I'm getting this wrong. You get to, like, pick more as far as what you actually want to take. So it's like, somebody could be like, okay, well, I want to do more creative writing or something like that. I think I'm getting that right. I might be getting it confused with something. I don't know, but it's kind of like AP classes. So basically, because I know that in, like, countries with A-levels, or at least in England, it's like the first 2 years of high school are high school, and they're like secondary school. They're like the last 2 years of secondary school, and then they start college, which is, we call college and university the same thing in America, but they don't. I feel like I should know more. But something that I wish somebody told me when I was going into basically higher education and AP classes and stuff like that, that it's not going to be as bad as people think it, as you think it is, and also that you can relax and take a break from what you're doing. And basically also the separating the workspace and play space, because I would always try to do my work on my, like, sofa or on my bed, and it would never turn out nicely. But I wish that somebody would tell me that to take a deep breath, basically, because a lot of the time I feel like it can get really stressful, and you'll be fine. So What are your 3 biggest tips for someone starting 6th form/college? So this is kind of like that second one, if I'm like getting this correctly. Basically, what my advice to you is what I've kind of been saying this entire time, which is, everything will be fine. And like relax more than you think you can, because you've got time to relax. It's like you feel like you don't, but you do. Trust me. So if you ever feel stressed, just take a deep breath. Just step away for a second. Second is color code your notes so that it's more visually interesting when you're studying, and also you kind of like can separate certain things. Like I would always put definitions in one color and then like summaries in one color and things like that, so it's like easy to separate and stuff like that. And then my third and final piece of advice is, sorry, there was a guy going really fucking slow. My third piece of advice is don't drive like, no, I'm kidding. I'm joking. You can drive like that guy. I don't care. Third piece of advice, third and final piece of advice is just work as hard as you can without... I'm fucking this up. My third piece of advice is work as hard as you can without burning yourself out. You're too young to burn yourself out, first of all. I mean, it's tough. It's going to be like one of the toughest things that you've done. I'm not trying to downplay that, because I remember at the time I was like, oh god, this is the worst. But from, like, in a hindsight point of view, you will be fine. Just, do your best. And remember that that is your best. Like, put your best foot forward. Remember that. Like, even if you're not doing well, remember that you've been trying. At least you're not one of those people that's just been sitting there like, okay, well, you know, it'll be fine. Like, there was a guy that was in one of my classes that had literally a 0%. At least you're not that guy. Yeah, so that was all of the questions that I had. So, basically, what you should take out of this is you always, like, everybody always worries about school before it starts, but once it starts, you'll be fine. I pinky promise. Pinky promise. And also, if you ever need anything, my Ask box is always open. You can always message me. I'm here for you. And I wish you luck with school. I hope you guys really enjoy it, because it's like, I'm coming back to school, but you get to see all your friends. And even if you don't get to see all your friends, you get to learn. Which is honestly a good thing, because you don't want to spend your entire day or entire life not learning anything, because that's bad. That's not what you want. And you're one step closer to never being in school again. No matter where you are in school, you're one step closer to never being in school again. I love you, and I hope you guys have a good day. Like I said, if you guys need anything, if you got any other questions, Ask box is always open. Once again, I've been Ali, and I hope you guys have a good day.